How do you go from playing non-league football to the Premier League in under 6 years? Today we've travelled 4 hours to Poole Town, the club where goal machine Charlie Austin made his name, scoring goals every Saturday for a reported £90 a game. But how did he make it to the top flight? We'll be speaking to the man who coached him, his former kitman and the fans who used to cheer him on. We'll also be seeing if the next Charlie Austin is in this team. This is the Black Gold Stadium where Charlie Austin signed for the club in 2008 and in his first season bagged 46 goals in 46 games, which, if my calculations are correct, that's a goal every game. And with a record like that, Football League clubs were sniffing about. In 2009, Austin went on trial at League 2 Bournemouth, where Eddie Howe was gaffer. Unfortunately, they had a transfer embargo and couldn't sign him. So Charlie kicked off the 2009-10 season at Poole Town, where the fans absolutely loved him. None more so than Rob, who runs the club shop. What do you remember of Charlie Austin?
It was wonderful. It was just so exciting to have somebody like Charlie, he was just so far above everybody else, we used to stand behind the goal, and every time Charlie got the ball we used to chant, "It's coming to get you, coming to get you," and the goalies used to crap them, so. But he allowed other players to play well, because as soon as Charlie got the ball, 2 or 3 defenders on it, the other guys were home, so.
Is there another Charlie Austin in the wings coming up?
Yeah, there's always a Charlie Austin in the wing coming up, but they come for a while and then, then they go. But there's always one out there somewhere.
Could there be another Charlie Austin amongst this lot? We'll find out later. But first we had to decide whether we fancied an ice cream or an ice cold drink. We headed back out onto the pitch to check out today's playing surface. So we were chatting to the chairman before we came out onto this pitch, and he was telling us that this used to be a cow field. So it would have had loads of lumps and bumps in it, and everything around you, they spent just shy of £1 million over the last 20 years, and they've produced this absolute carpet. No wonder Charlie Austin could bang in so many goals. The surface is flat as anything. After we gave the stadium the once over, it was time to find Charlie Austin's kitman. However, we got sidetracked en route and found the hospitality cabin and had to take a peek. For a table of 6, it was £250 for drinks or £500 for a 3-course meal. We were back on the hunt for the kitman. It was pretty obvious where he was going to be, the home changing room. So you were the kitman when Charlie Austin was here. What was he like?
Yeah, he was a good lad. He's just another player, really. You could tell he's destined for bigger things just by his goal scoring ability, really. He was one of the lads. He was a good bloke.
Did he have any requests for his kit?
Only for me to not make him in training. Apart from that, no, he was good as gold.
Did you think he'd make it to the Premier League?
No, but fair play to him. He worked hard and he's got his chance. He took it. So yeah, good, fair on him.
The first step towards the Premier League for Charlie was to sign for League One's Swindon Town in 2009, where he scored 31 goals in 54 appearances in his first season as a pro. But what happened to Poole Town when he left? Fast forward 13 years and the club are in the 7th tier of English football, hoping to gain promotion to the National League South. But do they have another Charlie Austin waiting in the wings to help them reach their goal? As we cast our eyes over the home team, it's worth mentioning today's game is against local rivals Dorchester. So it would be handy if Poole had another Charlie Austin in the team. But who could it be? Could it be the Camford Heath Cafu? I wonder why he's called that.
I don't know much about it, but a few games ago, some of the fans come up with it. Got a little song that's nothing to do with Cafu or Camford Heath, but...
So you're a fullback, yeah?
Yeah, I'm playing centre mid today though. Originally sort of playing fullback when I first joined here, and then playing centre mid a bit now, so...
It's unlikely to be the Camford Heath Cafu who's now playing centre mid, but hold up. Could it be former professional footballer Alefi Santos, who seems to be a free kick extraordinaire? Talk me through that technique.
They call it a knuckleball. When I run towards the ball, I run it with my knee wide open. A lot of people can't do it.
That's the kind of free kick you see in the Premier League.
If I get one over here, I'm shooting. 100%.
It's not Alefi as he's on the bench today, but rumour has it, it's this guy. Tony, they say you're the next Charlie Austin.
Well, I think they've been very generous for that. Yeah, when he was here, he done really well. Scored a lot of goals, and I think that's where they've kind of got it from.
Well, you've scored 81 goals in 111 appearances, apparently.
The last 3 years, I think it's a goal to game, something like that. So not too bad. That's something that I can be proud of.
What kind of striker are you?
Old school. I think 20 years ago I might have played a little bit higher. As the game's developing, you see like a lot of the forwards now that are quite tricky and stuff like that. I'm the complete opposite. Big, horrible, aggressive, good in the air, and that's about it.
Tony will be looking to follow in Charlie's footsteps, and the next step for Charlie was to sign for Championship side Burnley in 2011, where he notched 16 goals in the Championship in his first full season and was the club's top goal scorer that year. As Charlie's career progressed, we thought there might be some old school photos of the player in the club bar. Turns out there wasn't. Hang on, is that Miguel Almiron on the left? Anyway, we did find an interesting fact about this trophy. The club are no strangers to playing in front of the cameras. In 1981, they took part in the Anglo tournament and reached the final, which was streamed live on Italian TV. They played Medina, and in the 90th minute, it was 2-1 to Medina, right? And then what happened was, they let another 2 in and lost 4-1. Back on the pitch, we witnessed some Charlie Austin-esque finishing as the attacking players couldn't stop scoring worldies. Meanwhile, the defenders were working on shape and practicing their yoga techniques. Then, all of a sudden, 58-year-old Gaz in goal kept pulling off save after save. So, if anyone is looking for a keeper, Gaz is your man.
How you feeling, Gaz? I've had better days. 58.
One man who knows all about Charlie Austin is his former manager, Tommy Killick. We wanted to know what it was like having Charlie at the club.
Well, it ended up very, very good for both parties, really. He went on, obviously, to have an amazing career, and we enjoyed, 2 and a bit seasons or whatever it was of him being fairly exceptional for us. And he was a great lad as well.
What was he like to coach?
He always had a real hunger. You could see that he had a bit of steel about him in terms of wanting to get where he wanted to get. The other side of that, he enjoyed his life, if I can put it in that way. He was obviously a non-league footballer with everything that goes with that. Not quite got the same demands in terms of lifestyle and discipline as it would have done in later years. So he certainly enjoyed his life on and off the pitch in those days.
Unfortunately, Tommy was relieved of his managerial duties last week. Charlie Austin tweeted about his former gaffer and spoke very highly of him. Tommy was right. Charlie went on to have a great career. The next step after Burnley was QPR, where he signed a 3.5-year deal in 2013. His 20th goal of the season in a 2-1 win over Wigan sent QPR to Wembley in the playoff final. More on that at full time. As the fans piled in, one lad had to get the badge in, so let's tell you about the Poole Town badge. It features 2 dolphins jumping over a football. Reason being, dolphins live in the sea and Poole is next to the sea. Has anyone ever seen a dolphin in Poole? As for the home kit, the lads wear the red socks with the white trim, and the shirt is a split screen of red and white. Poole's first chance of the game came from a corner routine that just went over. Then Tony came close with the lofted header to the back post, and then he had a shot go over the crossbar. His third chance of the game came from another corner, but the header went over the top. 0-0 at the break, so it was time to try the local cuisine from the Dolphin Diner.
OK, Premier League footballers need a Premier League diet, and I'm sure Charlie Austin has tucked into a few of these in his time. This is the Poole Town hamburger, a classic, a similar cheeseburger. This is, I've completely forgotten the word. Poole Town's beautiful, classic, simple hamburger. It's a burger. It's all right. A couple of quid. Done.
The Bears are out at half-time collecting charitable donations, and the fans were in full voice in preparation for the second half. There were 2 early chances for Poole to take the lead in this local derby, but they couldn't find the back of the net. Then, all of a sudden, Dorchester slipped through. Questionable offside, but the forward tucked it away for the visitors. It went from bad to worse in the dying minutes as Poole brought down the attacker, received a red card, and then the free kick was dispatched. Poole did score a consolation, but ended up losing the game. Hopefully, they can still go up this season. And that's exactly what Charlie Austin did in May 2014 as QPR were promoted to the Premier League. He scored his first Premier League hat-trick against West Brom in a 3-2 win. He scored 5 goals in 5 games in December and won Player of the Month. He finished the season as the 4th highest goal scorer in the league. To top it off, he received an England call-up as well. And that is how Charlie Austin went from non-league to the Premier League in under 6 years.